LEGO just revealed their new castle set releasing this summer, the Medieval Horse Knight Castle. And honestly, although the main build leaves a lot to be desired, I think the fact that it's a Creator 3-in-1 really makes up for it. But not only that, two new factions were included in the set. What appears to be a Snake Knight with a black and yellow color scheme. He's got a really cool and menacing armor design, and the purple highlights are a nice touch. Then there's the Horse Knight, with two armor variations to represent the king. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's absolutely stoked for these new factions, so in this video, instead of waiting until August, I'll be making them myself. So let's begin. I know some people might get upset if I alter and paint over actual LEGO, so I'll be using these bootlegs instead. I'll start with the more difficult one, the Snake Knight. I'll begin by getting the torso ready by removing the original printing. This creates a really rough surface, but it allows for the paint to stick more effectively. I'll start designing a rough sketch of the torso design as a guide to paint on later. I did the same with the legs, so I'll begin with those. I started with a zigzag design in gray paint. Now I can add the vertical purple stripes that go along the middle of the hips and each leg. Surprisingly, the toughest part was adding the silver studs that I later had to refine off camera to look a little more accurate to the actual design. I also worked on a bit of the scales and belt off camera, but they still needed some adjustments to sharpen them up a bit. Next was adding the silver highlights on the scales, which really brings the look together. We'll continue the purple lines across the torso so we can continue with the incredibly challenging silver studs. Once again, I had to work on them off camera just to get them into better shape, as well as the belt buckle, which I can fill in now with silver. Next, we have to work on the plume. To my knowledge, I don't think there's a yellow version that currently exists, but we can easily paint this white one. The shield featured in the set unfortunately is an exclusive mold, so we'll have to use one that's similar. I'll outline in a sheet of paper and begin designing our decal. Once I have something decent, I can begin filling in our design with black, then our yellow, finally some silver accents. I'll seal it with tape, then begin to cut it out. Overall, I think it came out similar to the original. So let's go ahead and stick it on top of our shield. Let's add a sword, a helmet, and a black cape to our final elements, and take a look at our final results. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how this figure ended up. Definitely still comes across as very menacing, which I'm quite happy about. Those silver studs aren't perfect, but I did the best I could. I have a feeling he's going to be very popular and sought after when the set comes out, and probably the sole reason to even purchase the set for many people. Now it's time to work on the Horse Knight. We will remove the printing off of the torso once again to begin drawing the design. Luckily, this one is a lot simpler, so we can quickly move on to our black outlines. There's a few gold elements that I'll add first before I actually start with the blue emblem. I worked on the more intricate details off camera to have an easier time. So once that's done, I can begin painting the silver chainmail near the neck. The arms also need a coat of silver, so let's paint those too. While that dries, I will continue with the legs. I'll start off by sketching our reference just like before, then begin our black outline. Once those are done, we can add the gold studs and belt buckle. This allows us to paint the rest of the legs silver. And I really like how they turned out in the end. For the shield, I actually found a really interesting shield mold that will fit in perfectly with our design. This time, I'll decal the shield with masking tape and cut out the excess. I started painting the white layer, then added the blue after drawing in the horse. Final touch will be adding a gold outline. All in all, it turned out pretty well, except for the texture in the tape, which is pretty noticeable unfortunately. As a final element, I made a blue cape to add to our knight. I gotta say, he turned out really nice in my opinion, and I'm really happy with the results. From the chest emblem down to the belt, everything is really clean. The only thing that's lacking a little bit is the shield due to the texture of the tape, as I mentioned before. And luckily, I was able to draw the horse emblem pretty accurately, which I'm surprised about. These figures of course did not turn out exactly like the original, but still look pretty good. Which one did you like best, Snake Knight or Horse Knight? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, bye for now.